Hi, I'm Tara the Foodie, taking the mystery out of cooking for you. In this episode, I'm bringing you a St. Patrick's Day delight, shepherd's pie. Let's get cooking.
Shotskis.
Shotskis. Is this Irish? I'm just trying to work with my t-shirt and what it says, and Irish, I was drunk, so here goes nothing.
One down the hatch.
First thing we need to do is our prep work. We're gonna go ahead and take one large onion and dice it up. You need about a cup's worth of onion. Grab 2 carrots, about medium to large size, peel them, and then dice them up. Next, we are going to deal with our herbs. We have fresh parsley. We also have fresh thyme, that looks like this, and fresh rosemary. We need 1 teaspoon of rosemary leaves, 1 teaspoon of thyme leaves, and then 2 teaspoons of chopped parsley. So this is a rosemary sprig. It looks like a little branch that has the rosemary leaves on the branch, and you see how they all go a certain way. The leaves are going this way. Because the leaves are going this way, the easiest way for you to get them off the branch is to take your fingers and grab them and pull them down the opposite way. You take it and you pull down like this. Easier said than done, right? Pull them the opposite way, and then the ends kind of pull them off. So I've got a little pile here that I'm going to chop up fine. I'm going to take my chopped rosemary and just put it into a bowl off to the side. And then I'm going to take, now we don't have to chop the thyme because the leaves are already so tiny, see? They're very, very tiny. Here's kind of the leaves on the top. You kind of pull those off. This is like the soft part of the branch or whatever, the sprig. And then the rest of them we're gonna take and just pull back this way. And there's all your little leaves. So do that as many times as it takes to get yourself a pile of thyme leaves that is about a teaspoon's worth. So we'll take our same little bowl that we have our fresh chopped rosemary in, and we will put our fresh chopped thyme in. So we've got a teaspoon of each. And now we will get about 2 teaspoons worth of chopped parsley out of here. So I'm going to just take a bit of it and just rip it off, and then put it down on my cutting board and chop it up. And I'll remove most of the stems, you know, doesn't matter if there's some in there because they're tender stem as well. And now I will chop these up. Now we can just put the parsley that we just chopped up into this bowl as well. All right, so we've got all of our herbs ready to go for when we need them. So while I have my pan heating up over there for my onions, I'm gonna go ahead and prep my potatoes. These are going to make the delicious Parmesan mashed potatoes that are going to grace the top of this delicious shepherd's pie. Pro tip: when you peel potatoes, you want to put them directly into water after. If you don't, they will start to turn a bit of an orange color because they are oxidizing. So I have the 2 pounds of potatoes that we're going to be using in water, and now they're ready for me to chop them up. Now that I've chopped these potatoes, I've put them in this pot and made sure that they are just covered with water. Now I'm going to take them over to the stove and bring this to a boil. Okay, so our pan is nice and hot, so we are going to add about, I'm gonna say 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we're gonna add our diced onions to the hot pan. These onions have been cooking for about 3 to 4 minutes over medium heat, and they are nice and tender now. They have a tiny bit of color on them. I'm gonna go ahead and add our ground lamb. I have 2 pounds of ground lamb here. Add that to the pan. And just break up the meat. And just kind of start to stir the onions into the meat as we break it up. I love the way lamb smells. It's just a little bit different than ground beef. It always feels special to me when I'm making something with lamb. It's just not your usual, at least it's not my usual. So this is gonna be a treat. So our potatoes are boiling like crazy over on this huge burner that we have it on. Once your potatoes are boiling, go ahead and turn them down to low because you want them to just be on a simmer. So I would say low-ish. Give them a stir just so they're not sticking together. And then let them simmer for 10 to 15 minutes, basically until you can take a fork and pierce them very easily and they kind of start to fall apart. So the potatoes are on their way. We're gonna move back over to this pan, and as you can see, the lamb is starting to brown nicely and we are ready to add our seasonings and our fresh herbs. So I'm gonna go ahead and first add about a half a teaspoon or so of salt, just kind of eyeballing that. And then I'm going to add some black pepper, about a half a teaspoon as well. Maybe a little less. This is something that you can decide how peppery you like to make your food. And then we will add our parsley, rosemary, and thyme to our pan. Breaking up the meat still and stirring those seasonings into the mixture so everything is evenly coated. So in this pan we have our lamb, onion, salt, pepper, parsley, thyme, and rosemary. And the lamb is almost browned. It's cooking away. And the wonderful smells are just filling the kitchen. So we are going to continue to cook this for a couple more minutes and then move on to the next step. Our lamb and onion mixture is looking really good, nice and brown. So we're ready to add our Worcestershire sauce and garlic. So we are going to add a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. This is a half tablespoon here. So we're gonna add one-ish, little more, and the next one. So next, add 4 cloves of garlic through your garlic press. So now we wanna stir this up. The fresh garlic and the Worcestershire sauce that I just added to this mixture is insanely fragrant. Oh my gosh. Give that a nice stir so all of that wonderful seasoning and flavors are going throughout your lamb. So now we are going to add our flour and our tomato paste at this point. This here is 2 tablespoons of flour. So I'm gonna sprinkle this all over the ground lamb mixture. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And again, this is a half a tablespoon, so I'm gonna take 4 scoops of this. It's a little more, that's okay. Doesn't have to be exact. This is cooking. This is why I love cooking and why I'm not that much of a fan of baking. Now we're gonna go ahead and stir that all into the mixture. So in the pan now we have the lamb and onion, your salt and pepper, and all of the herbs. And I have added Worcestershire sauce and garlic, flour, and tomato paste. And I am just stirring that all up. And you'll start to see that this mixture is thickening up and getting ready for our broth to be added. So these potatoes are done. And the reason I know that is because I take this fork, and when you try to pierce through, they pierce through very easily and they start to come apart like that. They are done. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this pot over to the sink and drain these potatoes.
Drain your potatoes.
Once you've drained them, just take them and put them right back in the same pot while they're nice and hot. We'll take them back to the stove. take a look at this meat mixture. Take a look at this ground lamb, onion, and all the herbs, and tomato paste, and the flour, and all the goodness. And what you'll see is on the bottom of the pan, we've got some kind of like cooked on brown bits. That is flavor, and we are about to bring it up with our beef broth. So get yourself a sturdy spoon, and we're gonna pour in our beef broth and try and scrape off the brown bits as we stir the mixture. So I poured in the beef broth, and I'm using this wooden spoon to stir the beef broth into the lamb mixture, but also to try and scrape up all of the cooked bits on the bottom of this pan. And as you can see, because we added flour and tomato paste to the mixture, it's already becoming a nice gravy-like consistency. Now I'm stirring in a cup of diced carrots and a cup of frozen peas. Look at that. Look at how nice and thick the sauce is getting. This right here is what you want for the inside of your shepherd's pie. After you've added your carrots and your peas, you want to make sure your heat is on medium and simmer that for about 5 minutes to start to cook the carrots through. So to this pot with the hot potatoes, we are going to add a stick of butter and 1/3 cup of whipping cream, heavy cream, or half and half. A half a teaspoon of salt, and about a 1/4 teaspoon or so of pepper. Now grab a hunk of good Parmesan cheese and your grater, and you're gonna grate in about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan.
You getting any in the pot?
Yeah, a little bit. So just so you know, Juicy Joe is behind the camera just chopping away on a big old piece of Parmesan. He has not been fed very much today, so that's at least a 1/4 cup, if not a little more. Now, take your masher, mash it up. So here's the final step before putting this into the oven. You want to get yourself a 9x13 glass dish and some kind of cooking spray. I like to use the Chosen Foods avocado spray, and just give it a light spray. Next, you're going to take your lamb mixture and get it into the casserole dish.
Hold on. You're going to need some help with that, aren't you?
Yes, please. This is a very heavy pot, and it's still hot, so I'm going to put these on.
Ready?
Ready?
Ready.
Okay, do you want to hold it or do you want to scrape?
I can hold it.
Okay. It's hot, so. You look beautiful. Oh, he's got extensions too. Oh, it's so
Aaron Gold bra.
So pretty.
Right? Isn't it Aaron Gold bra?
Yes. All right, let's get this goodness in there, baby.
Okay.
Oh, Lordy.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my. Okay. Easy does it.
Mm.
We ain't gonna
No.
waste none of this. Oh, the smell. I literally just want to lick this pan, and I don't care if it burns my mouth. I don't.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
Oof. One of these days, they'll have smell vision.
I know. Let's rub this all over your body, and then I'm gonna take like a warm piece of bread and just sop it up.
Cut!
Mm. So let's just go ahead and spread this mixture all along the bottom of your dish. Now you're going to take Parmesan delicious, buttery, creamy potato topping. And we are going to scoop little scoops all on top of it and then spread that out. I'm going to take an ice cream scooper. So I'm just scooping evenly sized scoops of potato onto the top of this casserole so that when we go to spread it out, it will be easier for us to keep it intact, not get down into the mixture, and help us evenly coat the top. Get yourself your spatula of choice, your most loved spatula, like spatch, and spread out your potato mixture. So we are going to put our casserole dish on top of a baking sheet. And that way, if it bubbles over a little bit, the baking sheet will catch that. And now we are going to place this in a 400-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until the top is golden brown and the mixture underneath is nice and bubbly. It's time to take out this deliciousness. Let's take a look. Oh my lordy. It's been about 26, 27 minutes. And it is nice and bubbly. So you can see the top is nice and, starting to become golden brown. It's soaking in all of the goodness from the mixture underneath. You can see down below the lamb mixture is nice and bubbly. So what we want to do now, because it is bubbling so much, is we want to let this sit. It's hard to do, but let this sit for 15 minutes, and then we will cut into it and taste. Okay, I'm going to pick this. This has got some weight to it. All right, let's take this over to the counter. Oh, it smells so good. This has been sitting for 15 minutes, so everything is settled, and it just looks amazing, and I cannot wait to taste this. So we're gonna do about there, you think? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna just kind of cut through. Uniform portions. So here goes nothing, folks. Wow, look at that. Get that down into the plate. Try and make this look halfway decent for a picture. It is finally my favorite time of every video, time to taste. You know what? This looks delicious. I know it's not the prettiest picture in the world. It just looks good, and I am ready to dig in. Get some potatoes, some lamb. So comforting tasting. This dish is like a warm hug on a winter day. It is wonderful. I suggest that you make this for your St. Patrick's Day celebration this year. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me again. I hope that you have an amazing St. Patrick's Day. Have fun, stay safe. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hitting the notification bell down below so that you never miss one of my videos. This recipe and all of my recipes are at tarathefoodie.com, as well as some fun merchandise if you want to take a look at that. I'm Tara the Foodie, and I will see you next time.